ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम। सुमुखश्च एकदन्तश्च कपिलो गजकर्णकः लम्बोदरश्च विकटो विघ्नराजो विनायकः धूमकेतुर्गणाध्यक्षः फालचन्द्रो गजाननः वक्रतुण्डः शूर्पकर्णो हेरम्बः स्कन्दपूर्वजः शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। यस्य द्विरदवक्त्राभ्याः पारिषद्भ्याः परस्पतं विघ्नं विघ्नन्ति सततं विश्वक्सेनं तमाश्रये। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुस्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय कृष्णाय अक्लिष्टकारिणे नमो वेदान्तवेद्याय गुरवे बुद्धिसाक्षिणे कृष्णद्वैपायनं व्यासं सर्वभूतहिते रतं वेदाब्जभास्करं वन्दे समाधिनिलयं मुनिं। जन्माद्यस्य यतः अन्वयात् इतरतश्च अर्थेषु अभिज्ञः स्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायः आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजोवारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि धर्मः प्रोचितकैतवोऽत्र परमो निर्मत्सराणां सतां वेद्यं वास्तवमत्र वस्तु शिवदं तापत्रयोन्मूलनं श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते किं वा परैरीश्वरः सद्यो हृदि अवरुध्यते अत्र कृतिभिः शुश्रूषुभिः तत्क्षणात् निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं सुखमुखात् अमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिकाः भुवि भावुकाः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। Now with Swami's grace, let us continue from where we left off in our last session. We came up to slokam number 27, adhyayam 33, skandham number 3. Now, where we left off, before we continue, Devahuti has now been putting into practice the teachings of Kapila Bhagavan. Now she has not only the control of senses, control of mind, but completely fixated and focused only on Bhagavan. And now she is in a state of samadhi, where she has gone beyond the gunangal, the impulses of prakriti. She is nirguna state and completely in samadhi. Now at that time, she was not thinking about her body at all. The way we think, beautifully, Atmanam Swapne Drishtam, Atmanam Sasmara. You and I, we are always thinking about your body, doing things for our body, right? Our mind is always doing sparanam. Intuitively, we are doing that, right? Everything we want to do is body comfort, for body maintenance, body relationships. Everything is body related, right? So that is called smaranam, right? Not deha smaranam, right? But because she was in samadhi, she was tatha. Therefore, atmanam swapne drishtam uttita iva na sasmara. Now, like the way we relate to a body that we relate to in our dream, which we are not attached to. We don't reflect on that. We don't think about the bodies that we have in our dream when we sleep. Like that, she was not, absolutely no thoughts about her body. Unconcerned, not even unconcerned. That does not even exist for her. That's the stage we came up to in slokam 27. So today, with Bhagavan's grace, we will take up slokams 28 through 32. Slokam 28. Tad devaha parataha poshaha api akrusaha cha adi asambhavat bhabau malaihi avachannaha sadhuma iva pavakaha. तद् देवः परतः पोषः अपि अकृसः च आदि संभवात् बभौ मलैः अवच्छन्नः सधूम इव पावकः परतः पोषः तत् देवः परतः पोषः nourished by paratah by others. She was not at all concerned about her body. Absolutely no thought. Not even the iota of mind is focused only on Bhagavan. Very pure. Buddhi is very sharp. Okay? So, but the body has to live, right? So who's going to take care of it? Paratah, Poshaha. Those are the divine elements that are in nature, that automatically, as Purushottam says, when you are in the company of Bhagavan, the devas come and fall at your feet. They are your attendants. So they were taking care of her body. Parataha poshaha adi asambhavat. Adi, anxieties, worries, all the things are mind-related. The mental agitations, hopes, aspirations, ambitions, sufferings, right? Everything is coming from desire. The desire gives anxiety, right? So adi, all those sufferings, the mental disturbances, asambhavat, not occurring. Adi asambhavat, there is absolutely no agitations, of no worries. The worries are always born from desires only, no anxieties, nothing in her mind. Adi asambhavat, because her mind was pure, and adi asambhavat means arising out of such a calm, peaceful mind without anxiety. What arose in that? Akrusaha cha, akrusaha, the body did not dilapidate. It did not become thin, because the body was being nourished by divine elements. Right? As Bhagavan says, the Yoga Kshemam Vaham, when my mind is fully focused only on him, he takes care of the maintenance of the body for as long as it has to live. As long as it survives, he'll take care. Nothing to worry about. That's not happening here. Akrusaha cha, so the body did not become thin. Tat devaha parataha purushaha adi asambhavat akrusaha cha, that without any anxiety, pure mind, the body that did not dim, that has been protected and nourished and taken care of by the divine elements, that devaha, that Devahuti's body, malaihi avachannaha api. Malaihi means dust, because remember, she is doing dhyanam, like the way Durva was, like the way Ratnakar was. Right? The way Ahalya was, when you do dhyanam, the dust and everything falls on you completely. They start building up. Like if you leave a piece of stone outside, dust falls on it, right? It's like that. So Malaihi avachannaha api, so completely covered by dust. Even though the body is being taken care, but completely covered by dust, how did his body appear? Sa dhumaha Pavakaha iva babhau. The body was shining, babhau. It was shining, tejas. And what was it like? Like a fire that is covered by smoke. Okay, fire is surrounded by smoke, but still you can see the light, the tejas is there. Like that, her body covered by dust was shining. Tat devaha parataha poshaha api akrusaha cha adi asambhavat. Babau malaihi avachannaha sadhuma iva pavakaha. Number 29. Swangam sa-angam. Okay, let me read it fully. Swangam tapoyogamayam muktakesam gata ambaram daivaguptam na bubudhe vasudeva pravishta bhihi. That's what our mind should go. That's what we pray to Bhagavan in Gayatri Mantra. That you strengthen my buddhi, Swami, intellect. That intellect is not the intellectual understanding. The buddhi that points and controls the mind towards Bhagavan. That Right? It is Vasudeva Pravishta Dihi. It's amazing. Swa Angam Tapo Yoga Mayam Muktakesam Gata Ambaram Daivaguptam Na Bubudhe Vasudeva Pravishta Dihi. Vasudeva Pravishta Dihi. Pravishta means we say enter. Pravishta also means not only has entered, completely there all the time, fully established and completely absorbed in it, completely immersed in it, right? That Dihi, that Buddhi, and where is it absorbed in? Vasudeva. In Vasudeva. Mind fully absorbed only in Vasudeva. Dihi, the Buddhi, the thinking process, whatever it is, right? Everything now, Nischalam, there was no other thoughts, only Bhagavan, completely absorbed and immersed in him. Okay? Vasudeva Pravishta Dihi. But what happens to her body now? Daiva Guptam. We saw in the earlier slokam also, previous slokam. Daiva Guptam. Bhagavan is taking care of that body, the thing that is being taken care of, protected by, nourished by Bhagavan, Daiva Guptam. Okay? And mind is fully absorbed in Bhagavan, Vasudeva. That Vasudeva is taking care of the body, Daiva Bhoktam and Daiva Guptam and Tapo Yoga Mayam. And completely, it's a complete fulfillment of all the tapas and yogangal that she has been doing, the various practices and the disciplines and the sacrifices, both the mental tapas, purifying the thoughts and refining it so the thoughts become pure and then there is no thoughts, right? That is tapas. And the yogangal, the process of doing it, the body and the mind and the buddhi, it's a phenomenal, okay? And that she has done. And so that is full of that. With the result of all that she did. Swa Angam, her body is nourished by Bhagavan. Mind and buddhi, mind is fully focused on Swami, or Vasudeva. But the body is being protected by Bhagavan and is completely fulfilled. It's not only doing all the practices, but attaining the fulfillment of the tapas and yogangal, the practices that she has been doing, that body, Swa Angam, her own body, Mukta Kesam, Kesam means hair. The hairs have now become loosened up. So all the ladies, they go and, they have the hair loosens up and you go and tie it back and that kind of a thing. But she is not absolutely unaware of it. So the hair is loosened up. And Gata Ambaram, the dress she was wearing was also kind of sliding down. Okay, it is not, it is not in order. But she was absolutely unaware of it. So even though it is like this, Swa Angam Mukta Kesam Gata Ambaram, she was na bubudhe. She was not aware of any of these things. That her hair was out of place, her dress was out of place, nothing. And the body itself that is being nourished by Bhagavan, and fulfillment, that has seen the fulfillment of her tapas and yogam, with mind fully focused on Bhagavan. Swa Angam Tapo Yogamayam Muktakesam Gata Ambaram Daivaguptam Na Bubudhe Vasudeva Pravishthadihi. Number 30. Yevam sa kapila uktena margena achirataha param atmanam brahmanirvanam bhagavantam avata ha. Yevam sa kapila uktena margena achirataha param atmanam brahmanirvanam bhagavantam avata ha. Yevam, this way, doing this completely, not only gone beyond the gunangal, mind is focused, no awareness of the body. Very important. All of us are Devabhimanam. That Abhimanam is gone, completely gone. So evam, this way, sa Devahuti Kapila Uktena Margena, Kapila Uktena, as taught by Kapila Bhagavan, Margena, the pathway, which is nothing but Bhakti Yogam. People say it's Sankhya Yogam, etc. Yes, Bhagavan did teach Sankhya Yogam. Yes, absolutely. Okay. That is to satisfy the curiosity of the quest to know of our intellect. Our mind, we always want to know. So Bhagavan talked about the creation, the creator, the relationship between the two, etc. Sankhya Yogam, absolutely. But he said the only margam is Bhakti Yogam. Focus on the Kshetrajna, the indweller. That's the key message from Bhagavan, from Kapila Bhagavan. So Bhakti Yogam, full of love. And what is Bhakti? Exclusive love for Bhagavan. Like, see, Bhavena Saranam Braja, he said that, remember that these are all panacea mantrangal, okay, teachings. So that is what she was practicing. So Kapila Uktena, Margena, that pathway. And what did she do? Following this dhyanam and this tapas and all that, completely unaware of the body. The mind is absolutely decoupled from the body. Okay? And that Vachirataha very quickly, Nirvanam means complete decoupling from the materialistic world. The question of feeling of separation from Bhagavan. This is the Advaitic state she is getting into. Okay, very important. Nirvana means that Advaitic state, without any feeling of separation. Very, very important to understand this. That stage, Nirvanam, Achirataha, Bhagavantam, the Bhagavan, Paramam, Atmanam, Param Brahma, the Param Brahman, the Paramatma, the Bhagavan, the Ekam Sat, that entity, Avapa, she attained it. Remember Bhagavad Gita teaching, Swami says, Yatum Drashtum Cha Tat Praveshtum Cha Parantapa. He says that. Yatum Drashtum Cha Tat Praveshtum Cha. That Praveshtum is the merging, giving up the final feeling of separation. So Bhagavan, you attain, becomes one with him, that Parabrahman, that Paramatma, the Avapa, she attained. Ha! What a wonder it is. That ha is a beautiful word in Sanskrit. Ha! What a wonder. What a wonder. Ascharyam. She followed the teachings of Kapila Bhagavan sincerely, truthfully, determined way. And then she attained Paramapadam. Okay, that is the slokam. Evam sa Kapila Uktena Margena Achirataha Param Atmanam Brahmanirvanam Bhagavantam Avapa. Ha. Number 31. Tat Virasite Punyatamam Kshetram Trailokya Visrutam Namna Siddhapadam Yatra Sa Samsiddhim Upeyushi. Slokam number 31. Tat Vira Asit Punyatamam Kshetram Trailokya Visrutam Namna Siddhapadam Yatra Sa Samsiddhim Upeyushi. Vira, hey Viran, now Maitreya is calling Vidura. Remember that, okay? These so things being described by him. So we are listening in. We are blessed enough to listen. Blessed by Bhagavan to listen to this. He says, Vira, Yatra Sa Samsiddhi Upeyushi. Yatra. See, now this is the final merger. The purpose of taking human birth has been attained. So, Yatra, where? Sa, that Devahuti, Samsiddhi Upeyushi. Siddhi, Siddham, Siddhi. Siddha Sankalpam. Okay, these so many things. Siddhi means fulfillment. Many siddhis we have. In our material world, we achieve many things, certain desires are fulfilled. That is not what siddhi is. Samsiddhi, Parameswaran, Paramatma, one with him, that fulfillment of merging, becoming one with that Bhagavan without any feeling of separation. That Samsiddhi Upeyishi, where she attained. Yatra sa Samsiddhi Upeyishi, where she attained this final merger, this Samsiddhi, Tat, that place. Remember, she did all this sitting in the palatial palace that Kardama Prajapati left behind on the banks of, on the little island surrounded by Saraswati River, if you recall that, right? And so it's not the external thing that matters, it's internal. And that place where she attained Tat Siddhapadam Namna, that is called Siddha Padam. Siddha Padam. We say Paramapadam. We play a game called Paramapadam, right? Siddha Padam, Paramapadam, they all one and the same. Because the only Siddhi, the only fulfillment is attaining the place of Bhagavan's lotus feet. And that is present all over. Okay, it's present all over. There's no place where Bhagavan's Padam is not, but I must attain it. So that is nothing but oneness with selfless love. Man minus selfishness equal to Bhagavan. Simple algorithm, always keep it in mind. Okay, it is my selfishness that prevents me from realizing and experiencing who I really am. So that place, Yatra Sa Samsiddhi Upeyishi Tat Siddhapadam Namna, that is called by the name Siddha Padam. Trailokya Visrutam. It is very famous in all the three worlds. That Punyatamam, it is most sacred place, Kshetram, Punyatamam Kshetram. It's a very sacred Kshetram. Asit, it became. Because here, Devahuti merged with Bhagavan, became one. And Karishe Vachanam Tava, Arjuna tells to Krishna at the end of Bhagavad Gita teaching, I will do as you say, Swami, he says. And that is what Devahuti did. She followed. She asked a question to Swami, got the answer, all her doubts were clarified, and then she took it to heart and went and did exactly as her son, who was a teacher, told her to do. She did not question. She did it, and she attained the result. So that is called Tat Veera Asite Punyatamam Kshetram Trailokya Visrutam Namna Siddhapadam Yatra Sa Samsiddhim Upeyushi. Number 32. Tasyaha tat yoga viduta martyam abhut sarite sotasam pravara saumya siddhiga siddha sevita. Tasyaha tat yoga viduta martyam abhut sarite sotasam pravara saumya siddhiga siddha sevita. Let me once more. Once more, let me read this. Tasyaha tat yoga viduta martyam abhut sarite srotasam pravara saumya siddhida siddha sevita. Saumya, again another adjective, another calling of Vidura. Saumya, most pleasant, friendly with everybody, easily approachable. Well, in the countenance, in the environment, on the proximity of certain people, you feel very peaceful, isn't it? Certain people, you feel tense, anxious, and all that. But you go to sadhus, go to Kanchi Paramacharya, or Ramana Maharshi, people like that, you feel very peaceful. All your anxieties and everything that you had, they all don't seem to exist there in their presence. Why? Saumyatvam. Saumyatvam means without any differentiation, the well-being, truly the well-being, the propensity, the thinking, the thought is absolute well-being of everybody. So there is no enmity, only peace. And that is easily approachable. Bhagavan is easily approachable. Okay, same way Ramana Maharshi, Paramacharya, whoever you want, all these people are easily approachable. There is nothing stopping, They don't stand on formalities and all that. But that Saumyatvam, and Rama's one major quality was Saumyatvam. That Saumya, he says, addresses him, Tasyaha, that Devahutis, Yoga Viduta Martyam. Yoga Viduta Martyam. Now, Martyam means to do with the five elements, things that are made with the Panchabhutangal, and the Viduta. Viduta means given up. Okay? And how is now Martyam, the next word Martyam means her physical body. Okay? So Martyam is a physical body. It is called Martyam because it is made of Martyam, all the five elements. So it is called Martyam. So the Martyam made of those five elements, and that body, Martyam, Viduta, giving that up. Okay, and how was that given up? Yoga. Tasyaha, that Devahuti, Martyam body, which was Viduta given up, that Martyam made of five elements, Martyam, that body, Viduta, which was given up by yoga. Yoga Viduta, given up by her yoga practice. That body, Tat Martyam, Srotasam Pravara, Siddhida, Siddha Sevita, Sarit Abhute. That is a full English sentence. Let's take one word at a time. Srotasam Pravara, worshipable. Shruti means worship, praise. The most praiseworthy and worshipable. Pravara, the most exalted. So among all the things that are worshipable, this is most exalted. Srotasam Pravara, what was most exalted and what activity happened? Siddhida, it also gives the fulfillment. Da means to give. Siddhi means fulfillment. So something, that body, something happened to it after she left it. What happened? It became the most exalted, worshipable entity, and also something that gives fulfillment. Fulfillment what? And Siddha Sevita, but also being worshipped by various Siddhas. And Sarit Abhut, it became a river. What does it mean? The body is gone, becomes the Panchabhutangal after the body dissipates. And that place has become a Punya Kshetram. And then that became a Punya Nadi. Could be Saraswati for all we know, whatever the Nadi is. And that river is worshipped and revered by various Siddhas. You go there, it grants all your desires. That Punya Nadi it became. Tasyaha tat yoga viduta martyam abhut sarite. Srotasam pravara saumya siddhida siddha sevita. So that is how Devahuti, the daughter of Swayambhuva Manu, how Bhagavan, we talk about how the creation and the progeny take place. And remember, she had 9 daughters. And Kardama Muni wanted to, fine, you got 9 daughters, fine, I'm going to go and do my tapas. That's what I promised. But then she questioned, Swami, no, you're going to go. Who am I going to look? Who's going to look after me? The girls will be married and gone. Then Katyapa Prajapati tells, don't worry. Bhagavan himself has assured, given a promise that he will be born to you as a son and teach you Sankhya Yoga, he said. And then he went away. Bhagavan came. And Devabhuti asked the questions, same questions you and I have. And Bhagavan taught so beautifully, so patiently, so lovingly, compassionately. Even a child who listens attentively can understand it. There's nothing complicated about it. And then she put that teaching into practice and attained oneness with Bhagavan. That place is called Siddha Padam. And her material body became a Punya Nadi, Punya river, sacred river. Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Oh, by the way, this complete, oh, not yet. Okay, so we got a few more slokams to complete this skandam, which we'll take up with Swami Grace tomorrow. Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om.